Mac McCune is a guy who likes to energize,
Yes,
instruct, and activate
absolutely.
kids.
Right.
And that's not a bad thing if you're launching them in the right direction.
That's for sure.
And we've had enough time to share together for me to know that's exactly what your motivation is.
Well, thank you.
You have been in some public schools in and around Rapid City even lately.
Absolutely.
And Heart Ranch is going to have an incredible 5-day event. You don't want to miss it, by the way. It's June 24 through 29. Get that on your calendars. Country music, gospel music, but maybe most significantly to you might be the workshops.
Absolutely.
Talk about that and how it's impacted some of these kids that you've touched.
All right. The reason why the workshops are so important to me really is a personal testimony. That's what energizes me the most. When I was in 3rd grade, and this is a story about me, but there's some others I'll share about other students, even right here in Rapid. But when I was in 3rd grade, a music instructor took a few minutes of time out of their schedule and said, "I think you have something," and talked me into singing in front.
Not a virus. It
No,
was
it was actually a talent.
All right, okay. Just to
Thanks
be
for
clear.
I want to make sure. Thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it. But what happened was the fact is that they went out of their way, just a word and a little bit of a helping hand, to say there's something about you that is different, and I think it would be something that you'll be very excited to use. And so I got up in front and I sang in front of 1,200 people. Now that in itself for a 3rd grader was amazingly, number one, you just don't do it. It was scary. And there was such a wide response to a young person singing something that encouraged other people that it left an imprint on my life forever. That was the start of me wanting to use these talents in my life to give them away. Well, we've had that opportunity here, right here in Rapid already in these few days since we've flown in, to talk to students, to be a part of students, to take them aside and say, this is something that you can add to what you've already experienced. That's why the teachers, there's no music teachers are threatened by what we're doing, because all we are is a partner in what they're trying to do in the public school or a Christian school or even in the community. Every single time that I, even in this town, have had an opportunity to let a student understand that we believe more about them than they believe themselves, the result is amazing.
Well, it's not about whether they have a gift or not. It's how to produce a result using that gift, isn't it?
Yeah, and the interesting thing about it is that when we promote the vocal side, the electronics, these young high school guys or whatever, they run the lights and the soundboards and stuff. And I remember a lot of churches are always coming to me, "Mac, do you know anybody who can run sound?" That kind of stuff in their churches or in their events. But they are so wanting to be a part of that affirmation moment that all of the sub areas of the music world, lights and sound equipments and staging and all that, they all want to be a part of it too. Because
there's a long line of people waiting to get a hold of your kids.
Absolutely.
There's a long line, and it's not a line made up of good, well-intentioned people.
Absolutely not. In fact, there's so many statistics, and all you have to do is go on the website for a minute and start looking up things like, cuts in the high school in the music department, or look at things where young people are getting involved in things that they shouldn't, and we go, well, why did they do that? Well, maybe, just maybe, and I'm one of these that believes this, maybe, just maybe, there wasn't any alternative that looked better.
And you're providing another option.
Absolutely. You know what? And I got to say this. If it wasn't for the heart of this town, this Rapid City is a great place. It is a great place. In fact, in Nashville, we call it Nashville West. Because the Dakotas have a similar sense of family, a similar commitment. There's, we do things here that aren't done anywhere else. I mean, parades and family events and stuff. But if it wasn't for that philosophical understanding that family matters, and the fact that Heart Ranch is willing to do what they have to do to allow us an environment to come, there'd be nowhere to do it. And if there was nowhere to do it, all of those 80 kids that signed up just in one time period yesterday, a couple of classes, would not have the opportunity.
Well, and you don't lead necessarily with your faith, but the faith element of this whole presentation is the underpinning, the foundation of it all.
Absolutely. And you know, the thing I think sometimes we forget with regard to that is that our strongest strength, I believe, to the world, outside of the hope of God, which is it, and salvation, is the fact that we're willing, our loudest voice is our sacrifice on behalf of somebody else.
Boy, that's a great line. I think I'm going to steal that.
Yeah.
We'll edit that out, and then I'll say
Oh,
it.
great. I give it to you. Take whatever you want, Gord. That's great.
We think you'd be blessed by bringing your family to this event, and Mac and his whole entourage will be there with a purpose in their mind and heart to bless you.